Jonas, let's kick it off with the NBA and the Lakers.
Yeah.
Because being here in Southern California and all the Laker minions like Rob G and all those guys who are all up in arms and excited now, and they're aroused. They just can't believe what they saw. The Suns went down to the Lakers last night, and AD had 42 points and a stat line that had never been seen before. I don't know what that means. They probably threw in some things that, like nobody else did at the time or whatever.
Right.
Whenever I see stuff like that, like the league's been around for 100 years, and he had a stat line we've never seen before.
First guy to score 40-plus with double-knotted shoes and 3 socks on at the same time.
Unbelievable
effort.
Right. You know how that is. You've seen those things on ESPN when they come up with, and 3 blocks or, and 2 forced turnovers or, whatever it is. They have to come up with something to make it unique. But anyway, he played well, and they won. He had 42 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. I guess it's the 3 steals that go with the 3 blocks. I have no idea. But the Lakers, anyway, Jonas, are currently 7th in the West, a full game behind Portland. They got back-to-back games coming up against the Knicks and the Rockets this week, and then back-to-back road games against the Pacers and Pelicans to close out the season. Yeah. Even if the Lakers go 4-0 while the Blazers go 2-2, I think the Lakers then can overtake them and, be in the 6th seed and avoid the play-in game anyway.
The most likely scenario, the way the math works out, is that they're going to be the 7. That from my understanding, as far as percentages go, that's where it looks like they're going to be the 7 seed, most likely scenario. Yeah,
you're asking them, but they got to win every single game, which is a chance that they're not. They played well last night, but we've seen the other stinkers as well. And I'm just with you. I'm out on the Lakers. I'm out because too many things have to go right. LeBron has to be right. AD looks like he's got his legs. I don't know about the rest of the team. People after last year, Jonas, when they won it in the bubble, the Mickey Mouse Championship, and I call it that because it was played in Orlando. I'm not poo-pooing it. It's a championship.
Just do it. Say it doesn't mean as much as a normal championship.
It's just the Mickey Mouse Championship. But anyway.
Hey, you and I together, why don't we just call it what it is? LeBron James has got 3.5 rings. Let's just say it. Come on. Yeah, let's go with it.
And the other half is still in the Cracker Jack box. That's the other. You're still looking for the other part of the ring, But anyway, so I'm out. I just think too many things have to go right. And then the road they have to take, the first round could be against the Suns. I mean, they're going to play a good team in the first round, a really good team. I'm just out. I think that the road and where they are and the new group, I'm not that confident in.
You know what's so funny about this? So they win a game, and it was a great win for them. No LeBron James. Anthony Davis was fantastic, and you mentioned it. And they beat Phoenix, who's been really, really good all year long. And all of a sudden, it's like, that was the real Lakers. Okay.
Right. That's what it is. It wasn't the one that was losing by 40 points to the Clippers the other night. No, that's not. No, LeBron's not playing.
Yeah, no.
But when they win a game, it doesn't
absolutely,
matter.
and that's where the spin comes in. And my thing on this is, if they lose and we criticize them because they lose, we're told you're freaking out over one game.
Right.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter because LeBron didn't play, so it doesn't matter. Right.
Though that's just one game. Okay, but if they win, then that's the real Lakers that have shown up. And I'm just wondering, all right, so if we both agree that we can't use it's only one game rationale. If we can't use that, let's just throw it out. What about the last 10 since Anthony Davis has come back? Because they're 3-7.
Right.
Like they're 3-7 since he's come back. So this idea that all of a sudden we're back, baby, the Lakers are back, nothing to worry about here. I look, when LeBron went down, when Anthony Davis went down, I was skeptical. When LeBron went down, I said, oh, come on, man. Print the toe tags. Like, it's over. Like, this is not happening. Oh, no, they'll be fine. They'll be back. Don't worry about it. Okay, well, you've got 2 players who are now dealing with injuries a lot. LeBron's been injured 2 of 3 years in L.A., and Anthony Davis has always struggled with injuries. But I'm supposed to forget all of that and just pretend like none of that matters because they won a championship inside the bubble. And you and I talked about this before. There's a real chance, if you were asking me right now, we're in Las Vegas and you're staying in a suite and I'm like, swimming in the Bellagio fountain because I can't afford a room because you got a Splenda sponsorship and I don't. But if we're in Vegas right now and you handed me $100 and you said, all right, yes or no, do the Lakers win another title with LeBron James? Without even finishing the question, I'm putting $100 on no. It's not happening. Last year, the bubble was the exception. It wasn't the rule. Like, that was the exception. The rule is what you're seeing now, and what you're seeing now is a team that's 3-7 since Anthony Davis has come back, and both those guys have injury concerns. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you, but that's not, and I get it. Like when a team wins, everybody picks them the next year. It's just automatic. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, they're gonna win again. It's just like everybody said the Dodgers are going to win again this year. Have you watched any of that?
Why? What's going on with the Dodgers? Are they struggling? I haven't seen. What's happening with the Dodgers?
What are they, 15-5 in their last 20 or something?
Bad. So bad. They're bad.
Really, really bad. I know.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly bad. It's unbelievable. And they got so many good players on that team. But anyway, the Lakers. So it's interesting just to see how this plays out. And once LeBron gets back, and he already has his excuse built in, like he said, he'll never be 100% again. So we already got that. And then if they lose, what about the road? But I hear all the local yokels in L.A. and people who are just, this scenario is even better for the Lakers. This is what I keep hearing. Like, this is better than being a number 1 seed last year.
Yeah,
it's to be in a playing game. Have you heard this?
Of course. Yeah, and you know what it is, too? You know LeBron's going to use this as ammo because if they go on a little bit of a run, he's either going to use the play-in game as the excuse or the play-in game as another reason why he's so great. Just like the bubble. Like he was already laying the foundation for the excuse well ahead of time because of the bubble. It's a disadvantage for the older players because we've got to be off this long and then it's just like there's always an ulterior motive here. And you get these people that blindly just want to kiss ass and follow along with whatever they're telling you and just go, oh, well, it must be true because it's coming from them. No, it must be true if it's coming from us, Rob Parker. That's what I believe in.
No doubt. 877-99 on Fox is our telephone number if you want to chime in. But this is going to be, I'm just, should they win the play-in? They should win that. After that, I'll see. And here's the other thing. Rob G., pre-show was taught he's the biggest Laker homer there is.
Oh, my God, it's unbelievable.
Yes,
it's unbelievable.
But he was saying, like, oh, yeah, they could beat the Suns. They haven't been in the playoffs since Moby Dick was a guppy. They got all these young guys. They won't be able to be ready for the pressure. And I'm like, the pressure to make a long run. And I'm like, they might not make a long run, but the first round, like, seriously, like, you might be right. Like, the second or third round, they might not be able to get to because you have young guys. But to just do what they've been doing all year and play, I don't think that it's automatic that the Lakers would beat them. I really don't in the first round.
It's crazy. Like, and you mentioned Rob G. I mean, the biggest Laker fan I've ever met. He's actually got a hamster at home named Kurt Rambis. Like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, everything in his house is Laker colors. Everything about him. Like he actually filed to change his name to Sadell Threet back in the day. Like it's crazy. So when you hear it from Rob G., it's clearly a but he represents most of the LA Laker fan base that we have to deal with, that we got to tiptoe around because God forbid we speak out or say something that spits in the wind of Laker Nation, and next thing you know, you and I are painted out like jerks and we get harassed on social media. We're the
all
victims
the time.
Here.
You know how it is. And Jonas, real quick, I just did get a DM on my Twitter, and an off-brand of substitute sweetener is offering you a deal since you're on overnights and late night when nobody's listening. So, when you go to those bad restaurants and they just put it in a yellow envelope, even though there's no name on it, it'll just say, sometimes sweet.
It's actually a Post-it note that they fold up and put sugar in and just give it to me. Yes.
And that's the sugar that falls on the ground at the Splenda factory.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that they repackage.
100%. That's the stuff that the rats spit out when they don't want it anymore. They're like, get out of here. Can we get the real stuff, please? Yeah, that's what I get on weekend overnights.
Sorry about that. All right, after AD's big night, 42 points. Are the Lakers back in this? They're making another run to the championship. We want to hear from you.
And we go to D.C. first, where Tony is listening here on Fox Sports Radio. Tony, what's happening?
That's how you start a show. Jonas Knox, my man. Not that weak, tipsy off a half a can of peppermint Truly that Broussard gives us every night.
Jeez.
Uh-oh. My man.
Jeez, come on.
Wow.
Listen, Chris Broussard is... Come on. Have some respect for Chris Broussard, all right? I'm just watching the house. I don't own the place.
Congrats, Rob, on your endorsement. I just hope the Parker Platoon T-shirts on the tag doesn't say made by Splendor. But I will say this about the Lakers. No way, no how. I think, and Keyshawn Johnson brought up a good point. He says when you have a high ankle sprain, you're going to need help getting off the court. If you remember, LeBron walked off the court. So what I'm waiting on is when they get bounced, get ready for him to roll to the press conference in a wheelchair with 2 ankle braces on, his hand taped from 3 years ago with all these excuses. But if they win, he'll be like, this is the most difficult championship ever. You know, I.
Tony, you already know. We saw that before.
Yes.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah,
right? 100%. When he showed up at the press conference with the cast on. Remember on his wrist?
All of a sudden he had a broken hand and he had a cast on his hand because he punched a chalkboard after the first game because J.R. Smith had a little bit of a mental lapse. But
couldn't you wait, Jonas,
man,
until after? Why would you have to put that on to go to the press conference?
It's like he's gonna, but he makes it. Look, Tony makes a good point because we're going to go from LeBron James, greatest NBA player according to some of all time, just battling through the injuries. LeBron James walking off the floor, and then he's going to show up after they get bounced in 4 or 5 games, and it's going to be like Lieutenant Dan's stunt double. Like that. That's what we're going to get here. Like he's going to sell it up. We're going to play it up, and there's going to be people. And again, I'm not trying to name names here, but there are people that are going to make excuses for him, and those people's names rhyme with Slob Wera. I'm just saying. Like I'm just saying those people are a part of the Fox Sports Radio family, and they're looming, Rob Parker. They're behind the scenes. By the way, speaking of looming in Georgia right now is Max, who's with us here on The Odd Couple. Max, what's happening?
What's up, Max?
What's up, guys? What's up, Rob? Jonas?
Max, like you could always count on me every day.
He's on that load management, I guess,
Yes.
But for
Aren't
me,
we all?
LeBron, the Lakers are in trouble, no doubt. I don't see them falling in the play-in game. The NBA's got too much stock involved in them to let that happen. I do see them not making the finals again. Anthony Davis, withstanding, he's been playing out of his mind, but I just don't see that sticking around. And for me, he's been resting and he's been pouting, and I think it's because he got talked to. He must have got a phone call from the league after saying somebody should be fired. I just think the guy's got a poor attitude, and it's time for a changing of the guard. Let's do it.
How about that? Wants him out of the league. Wants him gone. Can you believe
good
that,
luck
Rob
with that.
Parker? Yeah, I know. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. This is LeBron we're talking about here. You can't just chase him out of the league. That's not going to happen.
That's a cash cow, no doubt.
We go to New Jersey, where Drew is listening here on Fox Sports Radio. Drew, you're on Fox Sports Radio. What's happening, man?
How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So I got the Lakers still. They can come out of the West. I'm not worried about that. I think LeBron is load managing, which is kind of hypocritical, I think he's really fine, and I think as long as he's fine and Anthony Davis is really the one that I'm worried about, as long as Anthony Davis is like 80%, I think they can still come out of the West. Everything else, I don't know. And, Rob, we miss you on Undisputed, and
thank you.
Hopefully come back on.
All right, I appreciate it. No sweat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, that not worried at all, huh?
Nothing's concerning. That's typical. No, but that's just they won last year, so they think they're going to win every year. That's just
okay. Man.
That's the mindset. It's even like the Patriots. As much as the Patriots won, let's be honest. Most NFL experts pick them every year to win. If I told you that the Patriots went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't. They went 10 seasons without winning a Super Bowl, but you wouldn't believe it. Not with the conversation that people throw out there, like they won every year.
It's just the part that is puzzling to me. It's one thing if you say, I still believe the Lakers are going to win, but it's not that. Look, Drew in New Jersey is saying what a lot of people are saying. I'm not worried about it. They'll be fine come playoff time. Dude, the issue I've been hearing is the lack of rest from last season to this season. So what, you're going to be more fresh when the postseason comes around?
No, they're going to be rejuvenated all of a sudden.
What are we talking about here? It doesn't make sense.
None of it
just doesn't
does.
make sense.